Leaked U.S. military documents suggest that a number of NATO countries have special forces operating inside Ukraine. BBC News reports that according to the documents, the UK has the largest contingent of troops in Ukraine. The U.S. government is investigating the source of that leak. Hugo Bachega from our partners at the BBC is following this story for us from Kyiv. Hugo, thanks for joining us. What's been the reaction to some of the details in these documents?
Yeah, Omar, it's interesting because we haven't heard a lot from the Ukrainians. I think initially they tried to downplay the significance of these leaks, and now they haven't reacted to the latest revelations that have been made. So you mentioned there that one of the documents show that Western countries, NATO countries, have special military forces operating here in Ukraine. Now, this was the subject of some speculation here, and now these documents seem to confirm this information, and those countries include the US, the UK with the largest force, and also France. Now we had some reaction yesterday from the UK Ministry of Defence, which said that some of the information that had been leaked was inaccurate. So there were no details about the information that they were talking about. But what is interesting is that the Americans are not disputing the authenticity of the documents that have been released. And today we had some reaction from Moscow because obviously the Russian authorities have been saying that they're fighting not only Ukrainian troops but also NATO forces. And the Kremlin said this morning that it wasn't clear whether the documents were real, but that they already had information that some instructors from NATO countries were taking part in military actions in Ukraine. So that's the reaction from Russia after this latest revelation.
Well, Hugo, it's no secret that Ukraine is planning a counteroffensive, but how could this document leak affect that upcoming counteroffensive?
Yeah, this is interesting because some Ukrainian officials have been saying that some of the information that has been leaked was already available. So they say that this is not really sensitive information in terms of the plans for a counteroffensive. And as you say, the Ukrainians are planning an offensive. We know it. We also know that they are going to face a number of challenges. And I think one of the leaks yesterday in a report by the Washington Post said that earlier this year, U.S. officials had questioned the ability of the Ukrainians to be successful to achieve major gains in this counteroffensive. They were talking about problems in terms of ammunition, also in terms of troops. So obviously, I think this gives an indication of what is being discussed behind the scenes, especially in the U.S., which is the main ally of the Ukrainians in this war. So the Ukrainians say that they are reviewing the plans because this is what happens. But I think for the Americans investigating these leaks, two key questions remain. I mean, who is behind those leaks and why?
And one more quick question. President Zelensky has condemned those who purportedly beheaded Ukrainian soldiers. 2 videos have emerged. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so this reaction from the president is coming after a video was posted online. It apparently shows a Russian soldier beheading a Ukrainian prisoner captive using a knife. Now, we haven't been able to verify this video, which was apparently filmed in the summer. Now, the president is saying that he's urging international leaders to react after this video, saying that no one should ignore this footage. The Ukrainian foreign minister has compared Russia to the Islamic State group. I think we all remember that this was a group that released videos of their hostages being beheaded in Syria and Iraq. But we also had reaction from Moscow this morning. The Kremlin said that the video is horrible, but that its authenticity needed to be checked.
Hugo Bachega, thank you very much for your time.